I can't imagine anyone has ever been drafted that averaged 5 points a game in anything ever. Any level, any team, ever. There's no way. Seven floored me.
Yeah, 7 and 8. That
the
trade,
Wembanyama
that was the big
teammate.
one,
Yeah.
Bilal Coulibaly, so he was drafted by Indiana at 7. They moved down to 8 with the Wizards. So the Wizards end up with Coulibaly, and then the Pacers get Jarris Walker at 8.
Okay. The highlight they showed of the putback tomahawk, I was like, what the hell? Like, that's one that I had not seen. And of course, they're promoting the whole, he was 5'11" and now he's 6'8". And I said, this feels so much like possible Giannis impact, where it's like this raw guy who was even 6'8" possibly when he comes into the draft. Giannis was more towards 6'9". I've got that poster where it says Greek and still growing or whatever that they had on draft night or his rookie year. And it was like at the draft in June, he was like 6'8.5" or something. And then by the time he played for Milwaukee, he was like 6'10.5" or something. And it's like, okay, if Giannis was 6'8", radically different player. And so as soon as I saw that this kid was listed at like 6'8", I was like, and they showed the clips. I'm like, I bet this is a bet that he's still growing, because he's obviously grown so much recently, and he's still so young that it's like, this guy could turn out to be 6'10". This guy could turn out to be 7 foot tall. Now, maybe he is done growing.
You never know,
Possible,
Chris. I mean, he was, just to give that context, he was 5'6" at 15 years old, and then he grew to 6'3" at 17. And
right.
I believe that's the age. I might have those ages mixed up, but now he's 6'6", 6'7". So for Coulibaly to be 6'7" at this point, at almost 19 years old with a 7'2" wingspan, so even if he stays where he is,
he's got to grow into his arms.
Well, yeah, right. But even if he doesn't grow anymore, he's still got a pro frame, incredible length. And he has the high floor as a defensive player and a good decision maker with feel on offense and a solid catch and shoot guy, that he's going to have a good career. But if he gets any taller, never mind skill development, that's why a lot like Victor Wembanyama, his own teammate, I guess you could say, oh, he's biased, he's his teammate. But Wemby sees him more than anybody. He saw him dominating at the lower level when he had on-ball opportunities. That's why Wemby says, oh, he's not just top 10, he's top 5. And NBA teams very clearly felt the same way as Wemby did. The fact that the Wizards moved up to 7 to get him, giving up extra draft capital, it showed how badly that they wanted him. And that Wizards front office, I feel like they've done a good job. We saw all the details of the Bradley Beal deal with all the swaps they got, all the second-round picks. Their front office has done a nice job. And this Coulibaly pick, this is a home run swing on a guy who can still be a single because of his high floor.
So when I saw the highlights, I immediately turned to my buddy and I'm like, what the hell? Like, the guy just tomahawked the thing off a rebound, like in one motion. I was like, that is not common. And of course, they're showing highlights. That's what they show. Let me get to this. But Kevin, and I know you can anybody can make every excuse in the world. His age, you don't understand it's European basketball. They don't play as many minutes, whatever. When they posted his stats and it said 5 points a game, I was like, what the hell? Like 5 points a game? I can't imagine anyone has ever been drafted that averaged 5 points a game in anything ever. Any level, any team, ever. There's no way. I refuse to believe it.
I mean, I think that those stats are a little misleading because
Here we go.
They are, because for the lower level team for the Mets 92, he averaged 22 points per game.
Right.
So like he played like 15, 20 games where he was getting on ball reps, ISOs. He had 30 plus point games. He was doing a lot off the dribble. And then for the Mets 92, he played a lesser role because he's only 18 years old. He wasn't supposed to play. Injuries opened up opportunities for him. His own production at the lower level, forced opportunities. And then he became more of like on-ball defensive stopper 3-and-D guy where he wasn't getting a ton of touches. There were so many other guys in that team above him on the totem pole. So he averaged 5-6 points for the Mets 92, but for their B squad, he was at over 20 points per game. So I think that's worth giving it context.
This is a French guy that you were not totally in love with, though.
I loved him. I had a 10 on my board.
10? I mean, come on.
I love Coulibaly.
This is not Killian. This is not Ntilikina love. But I mean, this isn't the type of love that you showed his brethren once upon a time. Maybe I'm softer on this guy, and this guy might be the one.
Maybe I'm overcorrecting a little bit, Chris.
you said I'm so tired of these French guys. Every time I get burned every time, and this guy averages 5 points a game. You can make every excuse in the world. It's 5 points a game. This is what it is. I'm not telling you he's not going to be good. I'm saying I can't remember, and I'm sure our Mismatch listeners can fill me in. I can't remember someone on any level. No matter the reasoning, I can't imagine that someone had that low of production on
but he didn't average
level
5
that they were
points per
playing
game.
on.
He averaged 20 plus.
No, that's on that. Come on, that's playing against you. Stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
I mean, I sure, but I don't think that's fair because I don't think it's fair to even give a shit about the stat because it's not about that. It's because of his role, because it's about the production and how he developed and how rapidly he's improved. It's almost the numbers are basically irrelevant with him.
Look, I saw the highlights. Maybe the guy keeps growing and he ends up being Giannis. I'm saying it's totally possible. Totally possible. I'm not telling you the guy's not going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm saying that he is the direct opposite of the guys that we always talk about. Like, yeah, of course he's good. You see how productive the guy was?
I mean, you should be using the Ringer draft guide numbers. That's what we have in there where we combine his entire season as a whole, 10.9 points per game. Like, I think that's a fairer representation of the year he had.